Holy Ghost, Batman by Amorloran. Chapter 3, A Long Overdue Call. The next day found Tucker in Danny's room at Phantom Works. When Jazz walked in a few minutes later, Tucker didn't even look up. She stood behind him silently, arms crossed until he finally asked, "Are you sure you want to do this?" "Yes," she said, firm. Danny deserves answers, but it has to be her choice too. They already found Stephanie's professional email through the public hospital directory, Gotham General, Pediatrics Outreach Program. Jess had composed the message carefully, nothing too heavy, nothing overwhelming, just a few sentences. "Hello, my name is Jasmine Phantom. I believe you may have given birth to my brother, approximately 17 years ago in Gotham. If this is reaching the wrong person, I sincerely apologize. But if I'm right, and if you're willing, we'd like to talk. No pressure, no expectation, just a conversation." Tucker had scoffed at the wording. It's got all the emotional subtlety of a greeting card, but sure. Jazz had hit send before he could comment further. Now, minutes later, her phone buzzed. She read the notification, blinked once, and then slowly turned the screen towards Tucker. "Stephanie Brown. Yes, please. I've waited for this since the day I let him go. Contact me at XXX. Chaz swallowed hard. "Well, that's a yes." Tucker nodded slowly, eyebrows raised. "Guessing we are doing this." Chaz sat down on the edge of Danny's bed, phone clutched to her chest. Stephanie looked at her email inbox, rereading the email from Jasmine Phantom over and over again, as the crumbing in her stomach turned to knots. "Oh God, why did I respond?" Taking a coming breath to clear the anxiety she felt from her voice, she called Barbara back. "We're good, Oracle. Just an old acquaintance. Trying to reach out. It's a personal thing, so don't look too much into it, okay?" Barbara didn't respond for a moment. "That just makes it more suspicious, you know." Some of the anxiety leaked into her voice. "Please, Barbs. This isn't case-related. I will tell you later, but let it go for right now." Barbara considered that. It was unusual for the energetic Stephanie to sound so upset. She looked into the usual suspects of her friend's orbit, but she gave her some space for now. "Understood. Just stay safe, all right?" "Thanks, Barbs." Danny sat at the edge of his bed, his phone in one hand, the other tangled in the fabric of his jeans. He stared at the glowing screen, Stephanie Brown's name on a contact card he had barely dared to create an hour ago. Jazz was downstairs, pretending not to eavesdrop. Tucker had offered to help run deeper background checks on her again if things got weird. And Sam had quietly reminded Danny that it was his choice, no pressure. But now, with everything quiet and still, it was just him, the phone, and the aching, fluttering nervousness that came with trying to call your biological mother. The word felt weird, even in his thoughts. Mom, that title belonged to Maddie, but this was different. This was about truth, about origin. He drew in a breath and hit the call button. It rang once, twice, 3 times. Click. "Hello?" Her voice was cautious but warm. Danny's heart skipped. It was strange how familiar she sounded, like a melody he'd never heard but somehow remembered. Hi? Is this Stephanie Brown?" "Yes, speaking. Who is this?" Danny swallowed. "My name is Daniel Phantom. I think you might have been expecting this call." If Jazz's text had gotten through, that is, the GIY blackout could be weird. Silence. 1 beat, 2, then, "Oh my God!" Stephanie breathed. Danny froze. "Sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out. I just... No, you didn't. I just... Wow." Her voice trembled slightly. "I imagined this moment for so many years, but I never thought it would actually happen. Are you okay? I mean, you don't have to tell me everything, obviously. I can't believe it's you." Danny chuckled softly, a nervous laugh. "Yeah, I guess I can't believe it either. I found the letter, the one with the initials. It kind of unraveled everything. She exhaled, clearly holding back tears. Your father wrote that the night he handed you off. It was the hardest thing I'll have ever done, Danny. I'm not calling to make you feel bad, he said quickly. I guess I wanted to hear your voice and maybe talk. Of course, absolutely. She hesitated, then said, You sound kind. You sound so much like him, like your father. Danny smiled despite himself. I don't really know what to say. I've been through some pretty weird stuff, but this might top it. Stephanie let out a watery laugh. You have no idea how weird your parents are. There was a pause, a good one, a shared breath of something lighter. I'm not angry, Danny said after a while. I was scared to call, not because what you did, but because I didn't want to ruin your life. Stephanie's voice went soft. You could never ruin my life, Danny. You were never a mistake. Giving you up was the only way I thought I could keep you safe, but it haunted me. I guess haunting runs in the family. Danny choked. She snorted, and he grinned. Sorry, bad habit. I love it, she said. You're funny. Danny looked out the window. The night sky over Amity Park shimmered, with a few stars between the glow of the town. Would it be okay if we met, somewhere low-key, just to talk? I would love that, she said instantly. Anywhere, anytime. Maybe Gotham's not the best place for me to show up unannounced, he said. I'm kind of scared I'd run into Batman or something. You'd be fine, Stephanie said gently. But I can come to you, or we can meet halfway. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Danny bit his lip, heart beating just a little faster. It's probably better not to meet in Amity Park. Maybe Springfield? I'm seeing a Diary Queen on Grand 8th. They've got good milkshakes. We could meet there. Stephanie perked up. I've always wanted to meet the Simpsons. What day? Danny thought about it. Well, you're coming all the way from New Jersey, so maybe the next Thursday? Honey, I could fly to Hong Kong by midnight to meet you, Stephanie said. How about tomorrow? Danny asked, voice barely above a whisper. She was quiet for a second. Tomorrow sounds perfect. They lingered on the line a moment longer, neither ready to hang up. Thanks for picking up, Danny said softly. Thanks for calling, Stephanie replied. I'll have waited 17 years for this. I don't know if I ever deserve it. Danny smiled gently. Maybe we both needed time. They hung up. For a long moment, Danny sat there in the stillness of the room. His ghost sense didn't tingle. No alarms blared. Nothing exploded. Just a quiet sense that something had begun. Something new.